Hey guys, welcome to Red 50. Thank you for tuning into another video. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. So today, I've got some bad news related to Mustang, especially the Mach 1. Ford has announced that they will be canceling the 2021 Mach 1 orders. I feel like all the recent news I've covered related to Mustangs have been negative, unfortunately, but what can you do? So today's video, we're talking about how Ford has officially canceled 2021 Mach 1 orders. In this video, we're going to be discussing why Ford decided to cancel all the 2021 Mach 1 orders, what it means for the buyers with current reservations or orders being built ready for pickup, and what it's going to mean eventually for the future value and collectability of the 2021 Mach 1s. With that being said, let's dive right into the video. Let's discuss what Mach 1 really is if you're not a huge Mustang fan. So Mach 1 was released for 2021 model year. It somewhat replaced the Bullet, and it had the 5.0 engine with some of the Shelby GT350 and even GT500 track handling goodies that made this a track monster. Ford claimed it to be the best 5.0 handling Mustang ever produced, which is a bold claim given the performance pack 2 Mustang was pretty good. So Mach 1 was something you would have gotten if you couldn't afford a Shelby or if you couldn't get one because of the allocation issues. Mach 1 was basically the medium ground with the 5.0, which has plenty of power, 480 horsepower, but absolute track goodies. So if you're big into autocrossing, tracking your car, you would notice a difference compared to a regular GT, even with the performance pack 1 or 2. Mach 1s have always been limited edition, so the last time we saw a Mach 1 was actually 2003 and 2004 model year, so it came back after 17 years, so we were all excited about it. Mach 1s have always been known to be limited edition, so like I said, in New Edge Mustang, they were here for only 2 years. This year, we're expecting a similar thing, given the new generation Mustang is coming out soon. But this one was even more limited than ever before for only 1 year. Well, not officially, but at least because Ford is canceling the production. We don't know when they're going to be able to resume. So who knows if we're going to get 2022 Mach 1 or not. But as far as we are concerned right now, we've just gotten only 1 year of Mach 1 for the 2021 model year. And even that model year is being cut short, unfortunately. So why is Ford canceling its Mach 1 even though it has very good reviews? It sells very well, and it's going to be a limited edition, meaning people are able to pay a little bit more than they would for a normal GT. Well, unless you've been living under a rock, you know automotive manufacturers have been experiencing a lot of chip shortages, supply chain issues, and they have been canceling vehicles. I mean, there's tons of empty parking lots. Used car prices are going insane. Just so much going on with the car market right now, and there's no end in sight, unfortunately. And Ford obviously isn't shielded from all this stuff, so Ford is impacted by the chip shortages. They had to close down the Mustang line back in May. I do a video on that if you do want to check it out. I'll link in the description. They've been selling F-150s without the engine deactivation module just to kind of produce them, and they have basically a written notice that once the supplies are available for those, we'll install the part for free. However, that was all basically minor hiccups, so to speak. Mustang lineup was closed for about 2 weeks. F-150, you can still buy them. You just wanted the cylinder deactivation. Not the end of the deal. But for Mach 1, they're completely canceling it out. They said for remaining orders of 2021, they're going to be canceling the Mach 1 orders because of the chip shortages, according to a post posted by a Ford dealer in the Mustang 6G forums. I'll link up the post if you want to read through all of that in the description below. But the gist of it is that Ford is unable to obtain all the parts required to produce the Mach 1, including the chip, that they're no longer able to produce the Mach 1 and dedicating the resources to source those parts. But as of right now, they have made the unofficial decision of canceling the 2021 Mach 1s, and who knows what's going to hold for 2022 Mach 1. Now with all the order cancellation, what does it mean for a buyer or someone who's already put a deposit in and waiting for their Mach 1s to be built from the factory? Now I know it's not really Ford's fault that Mach 1 is being canceled. They have no control over the chip, the supply chain issues. They're just kind of going with they're trying their best to source the parts, but they have no control, like I said. But I can imagine if I was one of those Mach 1 prospect buyers, or maybe had the deposit with my dealer, and then the dealer called me saying that Mach 1 orders are canceled, I would be extremely pissed. Unfortunately, Ford really hasn't come out and said anything officially what they're going to do with the buyers with the current reservations, orders that were almost being built, or people who've just put a deposit in just to reserve one. Now I would imagine that Ford is obviously still trying to source the parts and the chip to produce the Mach 1, so those orders are naturally going to shift into 2022 if Ford is able to source everything able to produce 2022 Mach 1s. But I feel like that's just not enough. If you were one of those buyers who put a hard-earned money, you put the deposit down, and they cancel it for you, it's not a pretty look. And I can imagine you're extremely upset, rightfully so. Despite this whole situation not being under Ford's control, I would imagine Ford should either have some extra cash given to those buyers on their 2022, basically knocking prices down a little bit further than they would have, or throw in some extra goodies, some suspension parts or something like that. Not really aftermarket, but Ford Performance, so they still have the Ford Performance stuff. Maybe throw in a couple of the track days or something like that, just to compensate the buyers, so when they do receive the 2022 Mach 1s, which is probably a year later than they would have anticipated, they're actually happy and not going on forums, going on Facebook, just bashing Ford, which wouldn't be good for their PR. So what does it all overall mean in terms of what we're going to do with the Mach 1 pricing and how it's going to impact the used car values down the road? Well, Mach 1s have historically gone above MSRP, and they've also in the used market demanded a little bit more premium than a GT would, and that's rightfully so because they've always had a little bit more to distinguish between a GT and a Mach 1. Like for 2021s, they have 20 more horsepower, but they have a lot more suspension components borrowed from GT350 and GT500. They just simply cannot get on a 5.0, so it's definitely going to demand more premium. Now, is that specific instance of having a limited production number in 2021 Mach 1s going to cause an increase to the price? I don't know. I feel like that's really not enough to justify a hefty price increase on the used market down the road. Yes, I understand there's going to be less Mach 1s, it's going to be more limited, but if I had to say, Ford is probably going to find a way to produce them in 2022, and unless the 2021s were extremely rare, people are not going to want to pay extra for them if they can get 2022 for a similar price. We saw that with the C8 Corvette too, where the first year of production was cut short, and that's the thing. I think if you're trying to buy it right now or maybe a couple of years down the road, yes, it may have more value because it's a limited production number. Right now, you cannot get C8 Corvette anywhere, so you're willing to pay the premium that you have to instead of waiting for a new one. So you might just pick up a used one, pay extra for it. I've seen those cases. If you go to Cars.com, Auto Trader, you see these C8 Corvettes that are base models listed for $80,000-$85,000 when they were going for only $60,000. So that's just a market premium, which we may see with the Mach 1s. People who did buy them or received them, and there still continue to be delays, they can put it on the market, even though they're going for base like $55,000, $56,000. They might put up a $65,000 or $70,000, and you'll have people buying these who really feel special and who really feel close to Mach 1's heritage. But all of that is yet to be determined. I'm kind of excited to see what Mach 1 values are going to do. My personal opinion is they're not going to be really impacted by this shortage and the cancellation of production if Ford is able to produce them for 2022. Now, if Ford is not able to source the parts and produce Mach 1 for 2022 model years, then yes, it's a game changer, and then we could definitely see some price hikes over other cars. Well, guys, that's about it on the Mach 1 cancellation. It wasn't really good news. Once I discovered it, I was kind of bummed about it, even though I had no intention of buying the Mach 1, but I can see the buyers who put the deposit down are probably really pissed right now. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and comment below on your thoughts on Mach 1. As always, subscribe to Red 50 for more Mustang content.